This is Adelaide's O-Bahn busway. It has been in service for over 40 years, however, there are a few issues here. First of all, this video is not saying that any part of the busway is dangerous. It is just saying that there needs to be a review on it. With that said, why does there need to be a review? The reason is because, and it's a bit hard to believe, there are no public reviews on the O-Bahn at all. Nothing. There is only the first one made in the 70s where it was being built. Apart from that, there have been no public reviews on the O-Bahn. And just in case if you're wondering about the 2017 tunnel expansion, that was only a review of the building process, not the original busway. And still with the 9 years after that, we have gotten nothing from the tunnel either. This is an issue because the O-Bahn has not received any upgrades since it was built, only track maintenance. This has resulted in several sections of the track dipping due to ground movement. And also, over the years, the buses have been getting more shaky. However, I would not blame the track here, rather the buses. This is because the suspension and tyres on normal buses account for the road not being smooth, and therefore are designed with that in mind. On the O-Bahn track, it is a completely smooth surface, which means not only the buses should receive different suspension setups, but maybe with that alone we shouldn't need special wheels, but anyway. The suspension is the reason you're feeling the shakiness, not the track. Anyways, moving on from the buses to the track, the issue with the track is the curb. O-Bahn bus curbs should be completely level, and I mean laser precise. The O-Bahn tunnel curbs are not laser precise, and were never fully precise. Future me here, just stating that last part was not about anything that has been published, but rather my experience. But they are good enough for 60 kilometers an hour, even though the tunnel should be faster, but I digress. When the original busway was built in the 70s, it was so precise that the drivers were told not to hold their steering wheels. You know, because it's a guided busway after all. But eventually, time got the better of it, and now the drivers need their hands on the wheel because of the curb not being level anymore. However, I have shifted topic a bit. So, what I was getting at is not only do we not properly keep the track maintained, but we also don't maintain the buses. This doesn't mean it is unsafe. It just means the bus isn't performing as smoothly as it was designed to do. And in 2012, this resulted in the speed reduction to 85 kilometers an hour from 100 kilometers an hour. The 90 signs are there because they didn't have the 85 signs. The buses were so shaky that at 100 kilometers an hour, you wouldn't be able to read what was on your phone. But still, they never fixed it. The government needs to do a review of the O-Bahn. Not just for that, but also the number of times the tracks have been closed for maintenance is usually once or twice a week. Or even crashes. There have been 4 this year alone. There should already be a yearly public review of the performance and safety. But there is only the performance of it, no safety reviews. By the way, the O-Bahn is extremely heavily used. During peak times on the 13 kilometers of the O-Bahn, including the tunnel, there could be up to 30 buses at a time using it. Anyways, this vid was just talking about the need for a review. Anyways, what do you think about the O-Bahn? I will see you in the next vid.